Why water is harder to manage than food in every environment. Food dominates most survival conversations, but history tells a different story. Across deserts, jungles, mountains, oceans, and frozen terrain, water, not food, has always been the limiting factor. People can function for weeks with little food. Without water, decision-making, mobility, and survival collapse in days or hours. Managing water is not just about finding it. It is about protecting it, conserving it, and avoiding the mistakes that cause rapid loss. Ancient travelers, soldiers, and explorers understood this well. They planned routes around water, paced movement to protect hydration, and accepted hunger long before they accepted dehydration. Modern survival advice often focuses on filtration and containers, but, well, history actually shows that behavior matters far more. Water loss happens faster than water gain. The primary challenge with water is that the body loses it constantly and, honestly, almost invisibly. Sweat, breathing, urine, and digestion all drain hydration whether water is available or not. Food loss is obvious and slow, but water loss is silent and immediate. In practical terms, this means managing output before searching for input. Slow your pace. Rest in shade, reduce unnecessary movement, cover skin in hot environments to limit evaporation, breathe through the nose when possible. Every environment attacks hydration differently. In deserts, heat and wind strip moisture rapidly through sweat and respiration. In cold environments, dehydration occurs because thirst is suppressed and moisture is lost through breath and layered clothing. In jungles, constant sweating combines with salt loss, leading to rapid dehydration even near water sources. The practical lesson is that visible water does not equal usable hydration. Snow requires melting, which costs fuel and time. Jungle water often requires treatment or settling. Cold air accelerates dehydration even when sweat is minimal. Survival means, anticipating loss before it becomes noticeable. Finding water is honestly harder than finding calories. Calories can be scavenged, rationed, or even skipped for a while. But water, well, it must be found regularly and, of course, safely. Ancient travelers memorized water locations and timed their movement between them. They avoided unknown terrain without confirmed sources because, their survival depended on it. In modern survival, we often talk about the importance of improvisation, but throughout history, certainty was actually favored. When people were unsure about water availability, they would stop and conserve what they had rather than taking a gamble by moving on. This sort of discipline, well, it genuinely saved lives. The truth is, containers matter less than discipline. Ancient water containers were really quite limited. Skins, gourds, and ceramic vessels all had their flaws. They leaked, broke, and water would even evaporate from them. Survival depended on drinking at the source, carrying only what was necessary and, protecting what remained. Practically, this means drinking deeply when water is available rather than just sipping constantly. It means sealing containers properly, storing them out of the sun, and prioritizing water over all other cargo. A full stomach without water, well, is a liability. Water quality can kill faster than thirst. Untreated water has, historically, caused more deaths than dehydration itself. Dysentery, parasites, and infections incapacitated travelers long before hunger did. Ancient methods included settling muddy water, using charcoal or sand layers, boiling when possible, and, selecting flowing sources over stagnant ones. These methods required patience rather than technology. Today, when filters fail or are unavailable, knowing how to clarify water by settling and boiling remains essential. Movement timing determines hydration. Ancient survival favored dawn and dusk travel in hot regions and midday movement in cold ones. Shade was used aggressively. Camps were positioned near water but above flood risk. Modern survival often ignores timing, and that leads to unnecessary water loss. Planning movement around temperature rather than distance actually conserves hydration more effectively than just carrying more water. Salt balance is, inseparable from water management. Sweat removes salt along with water. Ancient diets included salted foods or natural mineral sources to maintain balance. Without salt, drinking water alone can worsen dehydration. Practically, this means not avoiding salt during prolonged exertion. Even small amounts matter. Understanding electrolyte balance is as important as water volume. Water really does dictate decision-making. When water is uncertain, every decision changes, Routes shorten, risk tolerance drops, and conserving energy becomes the top priority. Ancient survivors, they accepted this reality rather than fighting it. Modern survival advice often encourages problem-solving through action, but actually, history favored restraint. When water was limited, stopping was often safer than moving. Why water always wins? Food provides energy, but water, it enables every function. Without it, digestion stops, temperature control fails, cognition deteriorates, and injury risk skyrockets. Water scarcity, honestly, forces errors faster than hunger ever could. Survival has always been about water management first, food second, and comfort last. If you want survival knowledge grounded in what consistently worked across environments and centuries, subscribe to the channel and share this with others who understand that real preparedness begins with mastering the hardest resource to control.